if you do not change the expenditures, then the only other element you have there to increase is either increase A&A, and A&A again is what already passed, because A&A will be passed through regulations, which by that process, the regulations have been passed, then would be now to increase national debt. And therefore, I think Treasury are rightfully in their place, because what we then opt to do is reduce the expenditure side. And the expenditure side, what National Treasury was proposing is, this is what you propose to the National Assembly as the additional tax measures to finance these additional expenditures over and above the budget for last year. Because assuming that ordinary revenue would grow, between 10 and 13% in a normal year.
Right.
So where the budget grows by more than that 10%, that would mean that you need additional tax measures to fund the extra expenditures as proposed in the estimates. And therefore, what national government is saying, what National Treasury is saying, that's fine. You may not agree with our additional proposed tax measures, but then in the event that you do not agree with them, then you need to cut your expenditures. And the reason why...
Where should that decision lie? Who should propose that? Is it the House itself, because the bill is within your power now, or is it an instruction from the National Treasury?
Sam, it is not an instruction, because even that instruction, that letter is not binding to the National Assembly by itself. It is just an advisory to the National Assembly, because remember, all these proposals are generated by the National Treasury. So it is the National Treasury that proposes to the National Assembly. It is the National Treasury that proposes to the National Assembly and says, this is where I would like to spend our expenditures on. Then the National Assembly goes through a robust exercise through the departmental committees and says, on energy, this is why we want to spend money on electricity. The department, the departmental committee on water says this, the departmental committee on defense says this, and then they aggregate those figures, and that's what comes to the estimates. And as long as there is a rider that the estimates that are presented to the National Assembly, even with the changes made, they don't exceed the ceilings. So they're saying, fine, we are okay with you not agreeing with these proposals, but you need to propose where those amendments are going to come from, because at the end of the day, now, even if now National Assembly, for example, bulldoze its power, because National Assembly is a budget-making house, and pass those amendments as they are, then anybody who can challenge that decision in court will actually have a very easy day in court. Because they would say, therefore, you did pass these expenditures, but you did not put measures on where those expenditures will be funded from. Okay. And remember, if it is not ordinary revenue, then it has to be either A&A, which is, again, you have to go through regulations, or it is through debt. And debt has another rider, because...
So do you think you have sufficient time? Because you're just about... Today is 24th, so you have 6 days to the end of the financial year, and you have sittings up to the end of Thursday. Do you have sufficient time to pass the appropriations bill and the finance bill and put all that into consideration?
That is why we're working around the clock. Like, I think I left the office yesterday at 1 a.m. trying to look at all these proposals and make sure that all the mathematics balance up. And some...
What proposals are you looking at?
Once the finance bill went into second reading on Thursday,
And then since the Speaker gave a ruling, but by 1 p.m. on Thursday, that was the last time for members to file their own amendments.
Right.
And members are on their own right to recommend amendments to the finance bill. And therefore now between that time and this morning, like when I leave here this morning, we are meeting now all those members that have the amendments through what we call the winnowing process. Winnowing process is we're saying, Honorable Junet, these are the proposals that you made. This is the financial implication that they are raised. This is what the committee feels. In fact, most of the amendments, actually, we have so far received 26 amendments by different members of Parliament. And out of not 26 amendments, we have received amendments from 26 members of Parliament, and each of them is amending at least 6 clauses, which is a total of at least 130 amendments. So out of 100 of those that amendments, we are costing them. But interestingly, though, most of those amendments have also been carried on in our report. So in fact, most of the communication we're making today is you made this amendment, but you have already taken that amendment in the committee, in the report of the Finance and National Planning.